And welcome back to Atreyu News. From Red State Watcher once again. Breaking. Trump nominee advances despite criticism. Despite criticisms coming from Senator Susan Collins, the Senate voted to advance Scott Pruitt for EPA. Reuters.com reports the U.S. Senate on Thursday voted to advance the nomination of President Donald Trump's pick to run the Environment Protection Agency, and a final vote could occur on Friday. The Senate voted 54 to 46 to advance Scott Pruitt, the Attorney General of oil and gas producing Oklahoma. Pruitt has come under criticism from many lawmakers for suing the agency he intends to run 14 times on behalf of Oklahoma. The Republican Senator Sue Collins said this week she would not vote for Pruitt in the final vote. Never even heard of the guy before today. Breaking. President Trump just signed legislation undoing major regulation. I think this is really what people were waiting for. The West gets choked by climate carbon tax BS, while the third world population, including China, is allowed to do as they wish, undercut us at every turn, and let harmful things into the air. Yet we're the ones cut with all the taxes. No more. The miners are going back to work.
Some people loved it. I think nobody hated it. I think it was very productive. And thank you all for being there. It was very nice. And thank you, all of the wonderful politicians, but right, Mitch, especially the miners that are with us, right? So,
you got to move that lens, guys. You got to move that lens.
We appreciate it very much. And this is our second bill signing this week as we continue to work for the American people. This is HJ Resolution 38, and that will eliminate another terrible job-killing rule, saving many thousands of American jobs, especially in the mines, which I've been promising you. The mines are a big deal. I've had support from some of you folks right from the very beginning, and I won't forget it. I went to West Virginia, and we had 17,000, 18,000 people that couldn't get into that big arena, right? You were a few of them. But that was some day and some night. I want to thank Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, House Speaker Paul Ryan, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, House Natural Resources Committee Chairman Rob Bishop, thank you, Rob, and Representative Bill Johnson, who worked very hard on this bill, and they really did. They worked very hard. This was a tough one. I also want to thank the great members of Congress who have joined us today. We have a lot of them. In eliminating this rule, I am continuing to keep my promise to the American people to get rid of wasteful regulations that do nothing, absolutely nothing, but slow down the economy, hamstring companies, push jobs to other countries, which is happening all over. Although I must tell you, we've stopped it. You've seen all the factories, all the plants that are moving back. They're going back to a lot of places. So you know that, right, fellas? They're moving back fast. Ford, General Motors, Fiat, so many. Very happy. Compliance costs for this rule would be over $50 million a year for the coal industry alone. And it's unnecessary. I want to also thank the incredible coal miners who are with us today. I think we can maybe thank them the most, right? Yeah. You folks have put up with a lot. And you know, another cut.
That is so awesome. And coal, executed properly, is such a great renewable source of energy. Yet, for the last 10 years, in all Western nations, they've done their very best with carbon tax and other things and major regulations to shut all of our coal power plants down. They want us dependent completely upon the federal government for everything, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, under their thumb. No more, though. No more. Breaking. Wikileaks just exposed CIA involvement in elections, and it's bad. Well, we all knew that, like we saw all the evidence throughout the entire election. Even Bernie Sanders from the Democratic side There's enough evidence there to prove election fraud. In an explosive report, WikiLeaks has exposed the CIA's involvement in France's elections during Obama's time in office. Breaking 911 reported WikiLeaks released a bombshell report Thursday alleging CIA espionage in France's 2012 presidential election. According to the documents released, the CIA ordered targeting of the French presidential election, including Hollande and Le Pen. The organization revealed several pages of apparent classified documents that can only be seen by clicking on this link. All major French political parties were targeted for infiltration by the CIA's human and electronic spies in the 7 months leading up to France's 2012 presidential election. The revelations are contained within 3 CIA tasking orders published today by WikiLeaks as context for its forthcoming CIA Vault 7 series. Named specifically as targets are the French Socialist Party, the National Front, which, from what I understand, is actually leading currently. Marine Le Pen is in charge of the National Front Party, favored to win the election, from what I could tell. And Union for Popular Movement, together with the current President Francois Hollande, then President Nicolas Sarkozy, current round 1 presidential frontrunner Marine Le Pen, and former presidential candidate Martin Aubry and Dominique Kahn. The CIA assessed the President Sarkozy's party was not assured re-election. Specific tasking concerning his party including obtaining the strategic election plans of the Union for a Popular Movement. So it's quite obvious that America, well, I can't really say the American people, but the military-industrial complex run by American dollars has infiltrated and affected elections outside of the country, which is terrible, obviously. But Marine Le Pen's still the favorite to win because people have had enough of this corporate BS. We've had enough of it. We're sick of watching our jobs leave, and that's going to stop. Breaking. Dozens killed in an ISIS suicide attack. Death toll keeps rising. At least 72 people have been killed in a suicide attack at a shrine in Pakistan. An ISIS affiliate has claimed responsibility. CNN.com reports at least 72 people were killed in a suicide attack Thursday at Pakistan's packed shrine in the southern city of Suwan in Sindh province, a police official said. As many as 250 others were injured. That's a pretty large attack. ISIS has to be crushed, and like Trump said, we're going to wipe it off the face of the earth. Did it before with the Nazis, they're gone. And even if you mention the term, bad things can happen. I think the same thing will go with ISIS. ISIS will be branded to be removed from the face of the earth, and whoever utters the words, may suffer the consequence depending the audience that they keep. According to Kadim Hussein Rind, just butchering these names, he's a police inspector general. The Islamic State ISIS affiliate in Afghanistan and Pakistan claimed responsibility for the attack in a phone call to CNN. The Amaq news agency, which is affiliated with ISIS, reported the attack was carried out by a suicide bomber in an explosive vest. Thousands of worshippers, including families with their children, had gathered at the iconic shrine for the ritual of Damal, which involves music, chanting, and prayer. The shrine is more than 800 years old. Just terrible. Let's take a look.
It's the latest in a recent string of massive attacks in Pakistan, this one with scores of children among the dead. Medical workers say a suicide bomber appears to have targeted the women's wing of a Sufi temple in the country's south, killing at least 72 people, including some 30 youths accompanying their mothers, and the death toll is likely to rise. The temple was more crowded than usual at the time of the attack on Thursday, the day of the week holding special significance to worshippers. Rescuers working through the chaos, Islamic State claimed responsibility. It comes less than a week after another bombing killed 13 at a protest in Lahore. That attack was claimed by a faction of the Taliban. After years of improving security in the country, rival Islamist militant groups are now carrying out their threats in a new offensive. The government has vowed vengeance and immediately closed its border with Afghanistan. The militants have presences in both countries.
This is just a flat-out attack on humanity. I notice what ISIS does. It appears they're trying to scrub the world of its ancient history. I don't really understand why they would target ancient sites if there wasn't something they're trying to cover up. They're trying to destroy the truth and the light along with it. We mustn't allow it to happen.